Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to my Minecraft Create and Minecolonies series. Um, it's been a few. I don't remember how long it's been since I've done a video. Um, but if I'm being honest, I got a little burned out from this. Not burned out per se, but I ran into a few major issues. Mainly the fact that I tried gathering a bunch of things from here, and it was backed up all the way to the warehouse, so nothing was happening and more requests were coming. Um, but yeah, I have got it working again, and I realized that this six-way gearbox from Create Connected actually um, outputs half speed on the top and bottom, and the top was facing into the crafter, so that was working at half speed as everything else, which you may be able to tell is not great. Um, but as you can see, there is actually nothing here that needs to be done, which is really good. So that means everything here is actually filled out. I'm really proud how this turned out. I don't know if I said that last episode, I'm sure I did. Um, but yeah, I think it's really cool. So, today's episode, um, I've got a few schematics I want to build, um, create-wise. I'm not particularly sure what I'm doing Minecolonies-wise, um, but there is one thing I have to go over before I actually, um, start that. So, over here, if you remember, this was my metal generator. It would make tuff, and the tuff would be crushed into nuggets. However, I was culling some mods, and I realized that whatever mod made that recipe, I've accidentally deleted. So instead, I've put these sifters. Now, they're I'm not 100% sure if they're entirely fair. Um, because um, they're very overpowered, I guess. Um, if I can find gravel, I can show the recipe. So the recipe I'm using for this is this one, which gives the chance for lapis lazuli, diamonds, emeralds, and nuggets of experience as well. That's the part I'm not entirely sure about. But because I'm not, using the diamonds or emeralds really for anything, I don't think it matters. But all of these have, a decent chance of just an entire ingot rather than just nuggets. And it's pretty simple because it's just the same cobblestone generator being crushed the same way, well, being milled, I guess, and then being sifted, which is pretty much the same as the millstone. It just needs these meshes on top, if you can see them. They're like they're not really blocks, but they kind of act like blocks, I guess. Um, and then just the bulk um, cooking setup, and that's really the only change I've made with this. But um, the first and most important schematic is going to be the power station. Now this is going to be um, real interesting. So basically, I've got this. If I can show it off here, which may not be possible. Here we go. Okay, so this is it. It is huge. Um, and basically it entirely redevelops the area into a massive power plant. So I've cleared out all of the blocks I think I've cleared out all of the blocks I need to. Um, But yeah, it goes all the way over to here. And it's a little complicated. But I think I'll describe that in more detail once it's actually built, because there's quite a lot of things that need to be fixed up with this, including here, which is going to be an infinite lava source. And if you know Create, you know what that means, so that creative tank is not part of the build. That was testing purposes only. But I think I'm gonna get a start on that now, because I do have everything. There's a lot that needed to be done. Everything's in here. I actually don't need these 2 chests, but I've got everything else. So I'll put this in, and I guess I'll start. Alright, so this is literally just stopped. And wow. So, I actually put the schematic cannon, I actually upped its speed in the settings, so it went a whole lot quicker than it, would otherwise. But yeah, so this is it. So, I'll go through it quickly. First you got the warehouse, or the power vault as I call it. That's where everything is temporarily stored. Then I've got a massive, well, I guess this is a big sugarcane farm, but you know. Then the main production building, which has Um, eggs, which I need to put chickens in there, which I am going to cheat. I know that's probably bad, but I am not breeding 300 chickens just for this. I'm not that type of person to do that, to go out of my way to do that. Um, I understand if that's a little, well, you know, I understand if that's not, um, if you think that's, like, bad for me to do, but, you know. Um, so yeah. Eggs, sugarcane goes to there and gets crushed into sugar. That gets put into here. And then there's some, that's a basalt generator, or going to be a basalt generator. And that's going to be, you know, um, haunted into netherrack and then crushed into cinderflower. And then put into here to make blaze cake bases. And then that goes to the vault temporarily. Then it goes straight, well, then it goes to here, which I could probably just go straight to, but, you know. And then it goes into here and gets fueled by, lava. Now that's the big problem. So, in Create, there's two ways to get lava. Go to the nether and pull it in through a nether portal there, or make a big infinite lava source in the overworld. And that's what I've decided to do. It's going to be a pain in the butt. It's probably going to take forever to, like, fill up. But either way, I'm going to have to make one of those, things that bring it from the nether. I just thought it would be cool to have it, you know, actually be here in the center of everything. Yeah. And then after the lava gets put into there, it goes into here, which has, 8 max size boilers and 1, level 9 max one. And basically, this one is like the starting one. That'll, like, it'll power the factory. However, it won't power everything else. At least I don't think. But it will power everything just enough to get these started. But it appears that there's a lot of things I actually need to fix up. All of these need shafts. And they all need water placed into, where it goes. So down there. I'm kind of hidden it, under some things. So, that's gonna be fun. But yeah. So I'm gonna do that. And I guess I'll cut back to when I have done that. Okay, so, just quickly, I have actually finished this. So, we've got the infinite lava source, which, looks like this. Not too pretty, but it works. I was having a bit of trouble with it until I realized that I had, to, put all the, like, the hose all the way down to the bottom. I also probably made this way bigger than it needed to be, which really explains why it took so long. But, but it is giving me a pretty decent amount of dressing units. 1,500,000. And this is what it looks like, and sounds like. Music to create players' ears, I call it. But I did, have to get a creative tank to help with that, just because it was just taking too long and the buckets weren't working correctly. And then there's all the chickens over here. There should be more. Weird. Um, oh. Oh no. Okay, anyways. I'll fix that up in a second. The other thing I wanted to do was, I'm almost constantly running out of food. So basically, I designed a, I don't know if I've shown this already, but I've designed this schematic, which basically looks like this. And it's going to produce 4 different types of food, only one of which is going to be entirely viable. But it is supposed to produce bread, honeyed apples, sweet, chocolate sweet berries, and golden carrots. But I'll go through each one once this is actually built. Which I will do in a bit, because this is being recorded rather quickly, because I'm on a bit of a time limit at the moment. And I need to go fix up those chickens. So, you may be wondering what I'm doing. I've just set my render distance to 32 chunks, and it's not lagging at the moment, so I thought this would be a really good time to like get back into the video. I don't know, just I've gotten so used to not being able to see the mountain there that I forgot like it was there. Not that I forgot that it was there, but you know. Although I haven't tried to get or use shaders with this. Um, that would be another like really good thing. I'm just gonna grab some food and I'll show you what I've done. So here we go. Alright, so in the time between time between recordings, this is finished. I think that's where I was up to. Maybe actually I don't remember what I was up to. But I've came along here and created a path all the way over here. So you probably have already seen it, but I have made a big bridge over the lake, well, river, I guess. It's a really big river. But yeah, so I think this is a pretty neat design. I'll go into spectator mode for a sec just to show it off. I think it's really cool. It should light up when it's nighttime. I've got daylight sensors on the redstone lamps. Of course, I did this in creative. I'm not this skilled at building. And survival. I don't know if you can really call it a skill, but whatever. But as you also may have noticed, I've got train tracks on it. So this will be the start of hopefully eventually a train network. So from what I can, from what I plan, it's probably gonna go up along this way and then down and around this way. But it's also gonna go up and around, and I'm gonna make a train station somewhere up here, probably. And then that, of course, that will like go up that way, maybe. I don't know. But if you could see on the map as well, there's also something else that I built. And it is this little garden. So before, if you remember, this was okay, this is powered again. Cool. I must be running out of slime balls, maybe. Huh? Hold on. Unless... Okay, that's really weird. I think some things are going, but other things aren't. That may be because... Okay. I'm gonna check that out in a second after I stop recording. But yeah, so before this went directly into a cliff, and that really bugged me. So now I've got it. So I have like this cool little garden here. And of course, because the slime ball farm is sort of vaguely East Asian inspired, I thought I'd make this East Asian inspired too, or more specifically Japanese. It's probably silly, but you know, I think it looks cool. But I've also added a little bench here so I can sit here and, you know, talk to the camera, I guess. Yeah. So everything's set up. The power station is now connected to the main colony. And yeah, I had to fix a few things up, but nothing major. A few of the chains broke, and a few of the like little bits stopped working, but that's all good. It was pretty easy to fix, so I fixed it. But yeah. So thank you for watching. I know it's been a little bit since I uploaded last. I believe that is because I was just getting. It's not that I was burnt out per se. It was more that like I started playing other things like Forsaken on Roblox and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, so and then there was also the like package overload that happened. Um, but that's not entirely an excuse that I should use. Um, it's probably also just me being generally lazy, but you know. But yeah, hopefully I'll upload again soon. Um, but yeah, until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.